today that I am going to be in the annals of the history of the world's greatest commencement speech givers. I will do so by giving you a speech riddled with overused metaphor and ancient platitudes. But because my Marc Ecko remix, which is sort of like a P. Diddy remix, and anyone who doesn't know who P. Diddy is, maybe whisper to grandma, grandpa, whatever, break that down for them. It'll be so dazzling, you'll be stunned by the illusion of originality that the teleprompters before you will disappear. And a tradition of the greatest orators ever, and indeed how many of you here are graduating with honors. I too will plagiarize. Only kidding. Joke, I kid. But it won't be where I'm taking it from, but rather where I'm taking it to. It's a good one, right? You could quote that. Okay, I stole that. It's Jim Jarmusch, filmmaker. All kidding aside, before all of you guys want to leave and President McCormick starts having second thoughts, I'll try to share some of my knowledge of life so far. You see, since leaving Rutgers to pursue my dreams of starting a clothing company in 1993, I have made and lost millions of dollars. The fact that I made it in the first place is a testament to a little talent, a lot of hard work, some good breaks, and dumb luck. And the fact that I lost it is a testament to being arrogant, unwise in the way the business world works. And sometimes, as you can see like now, a little too cocky for his own good. So what has life taught me that I can bestow on you? You know the song, Row, Row, Row Your Boat? You guys indulge me for a second, everyone? Row, row, row your boat. Oh, that was really compelling. Cliche and compelling. Even nursery rhymes can stand up as bold truths. Crazy how that song teaches you everything you need to know about life's journey, isn't it? Merrily, merrily, merrily. That's 4 merrilies in 3 rows. It tells us the monotony that life can be with all that rowing, but reminds you to have more fun in our work by a 4-to-3 ratio. It says, take it easily, gently down the stream. It doesn't say, erratically down the stream. And then, in the end, what the hell does it matter? Because it tells you, life is just a dream. I want to share with you 4 simple lessons, one for each line of Row Your Boat, that I've learned from traveling my road so far. Lesson number 1, have a GPS, a global positioning device. Row, row, row your boat with a GPS. Get a navigational device of some sort, a map, really folks. And do not be afraid to stop and ask for directions along the way. Marcy Tapper is my twin sister. In fact, she is here today, and as I mentioned before, she graduated college in 1994. All the stuff, all the cliche stuff you hear about twins is really, it's true. Let's be clear. My wife is my number 1. She comes first, no doubt. My children, a very, very, very close second. But I gotta say, I've been wildly blessed by having a twin sister. Marcy has been that special something in my equation. She has been my ghost of reason. She's been my GPS. You have to have that something in your life that you allow to serve as your checks and balances. It could be your faith, or it could be a person, or a thing, or a vision, or it could be a combination of all of the above. But you can't allow yourself to go it alone. I'll never forget the day when I saw the straight line of my stubborn vision, telling her my plans. Marcy, I'm going to start a clothing company. We're going to be rich and successful, and you're going to leave this idea of being a teacher, which is crazy, and you're going to come work with me. In her kind of half-wise-ass way, she said to me, yeah, right. You want my help? It's going to cost you. And then she turned and she looked at me effortlessly and she said, first define rich, then define success. Marcy had the foresight to know that the road was not going to be a straight one. For Marcy, rich and successful meant something entirely deeper than collecting material things or gaining public notoriety. I encourage all of you to find your own personal GPS. Marc Ecko is not one person. I'm a composite of hundreds upon hundreds of people that work for me really, really hard. They deserve as much credit as I do. There were times I walked out at the end of the runway show, all flamboyant, and indulged myself and waved to the camera. roads like I did it all by my lonesome. But I didn't. I never did. Find that GPS. Pay attention to the signs in the roads. They aren't always in hazard yellow or reflective silver or green. In fact, sometimes the signs come from unsuspecting people and places. For instance, former dean of the pharmacy school, John Clazy, who is here with us today from Rutgers College of Pharmacy, Dean Clazy. I've often credited him with encouraging my entrepreneurial path. He said to me, Mark, you're young. If you fail now, you can recover and be in school next year. You don't want to wish you shoulda, coulda, woulda later on in life. That was a powerful moment of clarity for me. Thank you, Dean Clazy. Lesson number 2. Just because you haven't taken this road before doesn't mean that it will get you there. New paths can be exciting. They're also often scary as all hell. It's going to take a lot of new and innovative thought to get our world out of the disarray it's in today. New means change. You want to make enemies? Ask for change. New can be threatening. Why? Because it takes us out of our comfort zones. And when you're out of your comfort zone, it becomes harder to row your boat gently. But you must never allow your warm and fuzzy memory of a comfortable past trap you in the present. I call this nostalgia paralysis. Don't get old before your time. Here's the irony of it all. As you get older, it's hard as hell to be mature. Mature isn't how gray your hair is. It's not how much your knees hurt. Being mature is a discipline despite your age. It exercises your emotional restraint. When we're young, we're wide-eyed, we're hopeful. Your naivete actually allows you to see things in a way that others cannot. So exercise that brash, youthful vision and allow yourself to that naive moment, even just one moment a day. It is how you will row your boat. Maturity will take you this way, youth will take you that way. After all, it was naivete which created some of the most important innovations in the world. Take, for instance, the aspirin. The FDA probably wouldn't approve the aspirin today based on today's guidelines and standards. Sort of like my Rhino logo. See, I recall about 3 or 4 years into running the business, I was walking trade show floors in Las Vegas Convention Center when I noticed all of my competitive set was using word marks as their logos, right? So I asked, how can I distinguish myself from the rest? And I started my journey for a logo. Imagine if I gave you this challenge for a second. Follow the logic. If I said there's a brand named Ecko Unlimited, it has a market for 16 to 28-year-old young people, mostly skews male, and that uses extreme sports, video gaming, graffiti, and indie music scenes like hip-hop to build their marketing imagery. Would you declare that the logo, what would you declare the logo to be? Think about it, Echo. Most people visualize an ECHO, an audible echo. So how does a rhino make sense? It didn't, and that was the point. If I could sublimate the meaning of all these counterculture references onto it and code this logo, I was convinced that this would be successful. All of my buyers were cynical as all hell. They said, this thing is too outdoorsy, we don't need that from you, we can get that from Timberland, just give us more graffiti. But in fact, it was the random origins of the logo and its eclectic subsequent usage that made it work. My naive vision afforded me that perspective. So I released 1 out of 25 t-shirts that season, right? Only one had a rhino on it. I got the call. Hey Mark, you know that shirt with the hippo on it? The hippo? You know, the one with the dinosaur. I mean, the rhino? Yeah, can we get 3 more like that? Life inevitably involves navigating through all the static being signaled from people in front of you, stuck in their comfort zones looking back from a curvy path. We can all acknowledge up front that life's going to be a rocky road. Fair enough. But always allow for that moment of eureka on your journey. Lesson number 3. It is impossible to get anywhere on an empty tank. I hope you realize now, I was being a little snarky earlier when I dismissed, Oprah and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, right, in their commencement speeches. I was cynical, I was being arrogant, sarcastic.